Hi everybody, today we're going to do some Lion Diet meal prep. I'm going to make an Instant Pot chuck roast as well as a Lion Loaf, which is basically ground beef and liver together. I'm Anita and this is my channel where I show you how I've lost over 145 pounds by following an animal-based ketogenic diet. Today I'm making two dishes that are meal prep staples for Lion Diet. One is meatloaf, and the first dish I'm making is going to be an Instant Pot chuck roast. Now, I've done chuck roast before. Usually I will either braise it and do a 3-hour cook in the oven, and the other way is to put it in the crock pot all day long. This is a good solution, like doing it in the Instant Pot is a good solution for those days where you have forgotten to put it in the crock pot, which is what happened to me the other day. And so I decided, okay, I'm just going to do it in the Instant Pot because I didn't have enough time to even braise it. Braising is 3 hours. In the crock pot, is 8 hours or so. This is also a good solution for people who have histamine issues because it's a much shorter cook. You can cook this for as little as an hour. I'm going to do it for an hour and 15 minutes today. Cooking it for an hour gives you a sliceable roast. So if you're looking for a sliceable roast and you want that, an hour is good. I want it to be more so that I can shred it and pull it apart. For Lion Diet, this is pretty simple. I think I'm on day 55 or something like that today of Lion Diet. I'm basically going to use the saute function on the on the Instant Pot. Sear it up, get some, put some salt on it, do a quick sear in there on saute, and then add some broth and cook it for 75 minutes, like an hour and 15 minutes. Let's get started. This one is 2 pounds. It is nice and fatty. I am going to dry it off though with paper towel so that it will brown better. It does have a string around it, but I'm going to leave the string in place. This is just kosher salt. I want to saute it in some beef tallow, so I'm just going to grab that. This looks pretty messy, but this works. This is just some various chunks of beef fat tallow that I save when I'm cooking stuff. And so why not use it in here? So let's get the saute going. Just gonna press the saute button and let it warm up and throw a few chunks of this fat in there. I want the equivalent of about 2 tablespoons, but it doesn't have to be exact. That should do it. For Lion Diet, chuck roast is a really good choice. In Canada, they're usually called a blade roast, but they're basically the same thing, so the butcher tells me. And they always have, this nice fat in them. There's quite a bit. Perfect for Lion. I really like the flavor. It's very nice. And with the blade roast or the chuck roast, typically the only way you could have it medium rare is if you were to sous vide it, which I've done before, and that's good too. But cooking low and slow is kind of the standard method to make a chuck roast. So, okay, that's starting to melt. That looks like it's bubbling, and all the tallow is melted. And so I'm going to put this in. I basically want to sear it on all the sides, get it nice and brown. And I've actually done it before, skipping this step if you really don't want to do that. I just think it has a richer flavor. Basically, I'm just going to be turning it over. There's probably going to take about 3 or 4 turns to get all the sides seared. This is a fairly small chuck roast. It's 2 pounds. I've done it with 3 pounds many times, about 4 pounds, and then if you get past 4 pounds, you might have to do it in batches, the searing part. We're going to be adding 2 cups of liquid in there, and I have some leftover broth I'm going to bring over. One more turn. Okay. Okay, my first cup of liquid going in. Then another cup. It's almost a cup. Good enough. So now I'm going to put the lid on and we're gonna get this cooking. Putting it on the meat option, and I want 75 minutes. And we just let it go. I'm going to just do a little bit of tidy up here, and then we're going to make the meatloaf. Be right back. Before I show you the lion loaf, I want to thank the sponsors of today's video, which is Element. Element is a very effective electrolyte drink that I use for my leg cramps and to stay hydrated. While on lion diet or strict carnivore, I recommend using the raw unflavored Element. I put a package in my bone broth in the morning instead of drinking coffee, and that seems to be a very good solution for me. The other way that I use unflavored is with maybe a little bit of apple cider vinegar or a dash of lemon. I don't do that while on lion diet, but on carnivore, a little bit of lemon over a tall glass of ice cubes. It is very good that way, and a good way to stay hydrated. It also contains a science-backed formula of 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. Right now, Element is offering to my viewers this 8 flavor sample pack. You can experience all 8 of their flavors and share them with a friend. We're getting to that time of year you could use it as a stocking stuffer. So to get this, you just have to place any order on their website following the link that I have down below. It's drinkelement.com/ketogenic woman. That's DRINKElement.com/ketogenic woman to get your free sample pack. Thank you, Element, for sponsoring this video today. Okay, so I'm going to make what I'm calling a lion loaf. And I got this idea from Anna Maria, my good friend over at Italian Gone Carnivore. I will put her link below. You should check her out on Instagram. That's where she's always putting, her food ideas, and she's a great cook. I haven't tasted her cooking, but I just know she's a great cook. I can tell. She said that she put together the ground beef and the liver without any other ingredients, which is the thing with lion diet. We can't add in the eggs. We can't add in the crumbled up pork rinds. We can't add in all those things to make the meatloaf like I've made it in the past on my channel. It's, lion diet is salt, water, ruminant meat. So in this bowl, I have 1.5 pounds of ground beef. I can't get the real fatty ground beef. I have to go far afield to get that. And so here they like selling everybody lean ground beef. This is lean ground beef, 1.5 pounds, 1/2 pound of beef liver. And I bought this suet. I'm gonna chop it up a little more. So Anna Maria suggested I add more fat, and this is going to be super moist because of the liver, which is going to be chopped, the chopped fat, and the ground beef. So let me get this out of the package and do that first. I'm going to take about 1/3 of this. By the way, if anyone is in my area, I buy this at Save On Foods. Every Save On Foods I've been in has had this, and it is in their freezer section. What they have is basically chunks of suet, and I want to get it almost like grated, I guess.
I've got it in my fingernails now.
You know what? I'm gonna put these gloves on now while I still have a chance. I'm gonna do quick chopping on it. So that was 1 pound. So this will be 1/3 of a pound. It's a good thing I didn't have a finger in there.
I chopped off the tip of my plastic finger.
I think this will do. Okay, so there's my extra fat. Now what I need to do is to chop the liver and combine it all in there. So 1/2 pound. Okay, it's getting close to liquid. Yeah, all right, gonna add that in there. Okay, here we go. So it's like a liver paste almost. All right, I'm just going to combine this a little bit. I think I'm gonna have to get my hands in there. It's a little scary thought, but I'm just gonna have to do it. But I'll do a little bit of the combining first. I'm not adding the salt. Anna Maria was saying that that would probably, keep it less moist. We can always add salt at the end. And if you are not doing Lion Diet or even carnivore, you're just trying to find a way to sneak a little bit more liver into your family's diet, you can make this meatloaf the way you normally make it. I'm going to take my ring off because I need to combine that, more. I need to really combine that before I put it in the loaf pan. I'm just preheating the oven to 340 degrees. I love this pan. It's a Wilton pan. It has this insert with little holes. I typically will use this for meatloaf. I'm not going to use it today, but other days I use it when I'm doing the more traditional type of meatloaf. And what happens is the fat trimmings and juices collect in here. Then you can whiz that up and make a gravy. I want all the fat to stay in, and I'll even let it solidify in the fridge and then cut it into slices. I need that extra fat while I'm doing Lion Diet, and it's working out so well for me to do that. So I'm putting this away. And now that I'm not wearing the ring, I'm going to moosh this up with my hands. The love is coming in now. I'm adding the love. Probably should have chosen one size up on my bowl because I am getting a little bit on the counter here. Live and learn. Okay, that looks nicely well combined to me. So I'm going to put it in the pan. I'm setting it for 45 minutes, and we have about 50 minutes left on the roast. So we'll come back with both items when they're done. Okay, we're back. We have lots of meat ready here. I've got the meatloaf. It's been just cooling down. It's spent 45 minutes in the oven. And I have, this is ready. It's naturally released its pressure. I can now take the lid off, which I'll do so that it cools down a bit. I'm going to leave that for a moment and go to the meatloaf here. I just want to take a piece out and see how it looks. Maybe I'll use the knife first. There's a lot of fat in the pan here, and as I mentioned earlier, my plan is to just let this cool off in the fridge so that all the fat stays with it. I've been eating a lot of cold tallow on Lion Diet and finding that I like it. Okay, so there's a nice piece here. I'm going to add some salt to it and give it a taste test. It looks moist, which makes me hopeful. Yes, that is super moist. I'm glad I added the extra fat and the liver. It tastes great. It doesn't have to me, it doesn't have a strong liver taste or smell, but I like liver. And so, I used a whole 1/2 pound to 1.5 pounds of ground beef. So, if you're kind of not used to liver, you might try starting out with 1/4 pound. I think it's good for people on carnivore to eat occasional liver. You don't have to eat it every day. But something like this, you get You know, if you ate a couple of slices of this in a day, you'd get a little bit of liver, and then you don't need to have any for another few days. But it does have, it's very nutrient dense because we're not, especially if we're not taking supplements or anything like that. So this is excellent. I'm very happy with it, and I'll be enjoying that later in a few minutes. I want to take out the roast. Here we go. Now I will save all this liquid in here. Oh, I need to cut the string. So the juices, you know, you can make a gravy. I usually just pour it into a jar, let the fat collect to the top, take off the fat for cooking, and there'll be beef jello underneath, or you can use it as meat broth. You can use it for your next batch of stew, anything like that. Okay, this is more what I was looking for. I made this the other day, and it was not easy to just break apart with a fork. And I kind of wanted some shredded beef to put in my air fryer and make some crispy shredded beef. I thought that would be nice to have. But this is falling apart a little bit more because I cooked it for that extra 15 minutes. So I like it. Perfectly good meal prep items for Lion Diet, carnivore, keto. Because of course, you know, with shredded beef like this and with meatloaf, you can, if you're keto, you can add all, you know, whatever else you want. You can add sides. You can make tacos out of this, wraps, you know, all those sorts of things. Me, I'm just going to be enjoying it as is. I am going to take a bite of this. Love the chuck roast in the Instant Pot. So that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I've got a couple of more Lion Diet recipes I'll be doing while I wrap up. I'm trying to get to 60 days of Lion Diet. I'm at about day 55. During the holidays, I'll probably just go back to regular carnivore, you know, have some eggs and chicken wings, things like that. I'll be doing some entertaining or going places, bring a charcuterie board, that sort of thing. So I'll ease up a little bit, and then January 1st, I'm back to Lion Diet. Hoping that some of you will join me out there, and just watch my live streams for all the latest updated information about what's happening and what I'm going to do next. So thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Cut that part out. There's my finger I cut off. I'm trying to get people excited about eating liver. Tell me when you're ready. Make it quick.